Cindy Klassen, winner of 6 Olympic medals, is Canada's most decorated Olympian. Known for her dominance in the sport of speed skating, Cindy holds numerous world and Canadian records.
I actually believed that I was going to be a hockey player, so I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I'd end up being a speed skater and competing internationally that way.
As a teenager, Cindy already demonstrated the ability to compete at a world-class level.
When I was about 18 years old, I got a chance to come out to Calgary and try out for the women's national team. And I really thought, this is it, this is my chance, and I'll be going to the Olympics in 1998. I found out that I hadn't made the team, and I was devastated because I really thought that was God's plan for my life.
Turned down for Canada's national women's hockey team, Cindy looked for another sport to challenge her while at university.
My parents suggested speed skating, and the funny thing is that was the last thing I ever wanted to do because I thought there was no way I'd put on one of those tight skin suits and the long blades just looked funny to me. So I went out to the club and got on the ice, and I was in for a shock because I could barely stand up on the skates and little 5-year-old kids were flying past me on the ice. So it was a very humbling experience. But for some reason I kept going, and I went to another practice and another, and I improved quite quickly, and soon speed skating became my sport. So I thought to myself, I'll give up hockey for 1 year and see how it goes. Not only did I make it to the Canada Games, but I also made the junior national team in speed skating, and I ended up winning a couple medals there. So that kind of settled it for me, and I decided I'd move out to Calgary and pursue skating. The neat thing about speed skating is that even though you're racing against other athletes, you're really racing against the time and trying to get a faster time than you've done before and just trying to put together a perfect race.
By 2002, Cindy Klassen was a fixture on Canada's national speed skating team, competing in her first Olympics at Salt Lake City.
I was extremely nervous. I was going into my very first race, which was the 3,000 meter, and I remember not being able to eat or sleep a couple days prior to the race.
Early on the day of the race, she received an email from the staff and students of her former high school in Winnipeg.
They said they were praying for me, and all I needed to do was go out and do the best that I could. When I got this email, I just felt a sense of peace.
At 22 years of age, Cindy Klassen won her first Olympic medal, a bronze in the 3,000 meter. Her international success continued when she became the first Canadian in 27 years to win the overall title in the 2003 World All-Round Speed Skating Championships.
It just seemed like God really just gave me wings to fly. It seemed like when I stepped onto the ice, and could only come from Him because I had only been speed skating for a few years before that.
By 2005, Cindy was back on top of the podium, winning gold in both the 1,500 meter and 3,000 meter World Championships.
Going into the 2006 Olympics, it was very exciting because I knew based off of previous results that season that I could be a contender in most of the races I was going into. Going into the 1,500 meter race, I was going to be paired with Annie Friesinger, and she was a dominant force in the 1,500 meter. And normally I think I'd be kind of nervous about that just because she's so strong and such a fierce competitor. It ended up being a perfect race. It just felt kind of flawless. And to stand on the podium, to see the Canadian flag being raised, and to sing your national anthem is such an honor.
Not only did Cindy win a gold medal, she won another 4 medals at the 2006 Turin Olympics.
I won bronze in the 3,000 meter, silver in the team pursuit and the 1,000 meter, bronze in the 5,000 meter, and gold in the 1,500 meter. The thing that I really like about this medal, it may sound strange, but I don't know if you can see, but it's starting to tarnish a bit. It's such a great reminder for me that these medals, I'm grateful for them, and it's an honor to be able to win them, but they're all going to rust and pass away, and all that matters is my relationship with Christ and living my life for Him.
In 2006, Cindy was awarded Canada's highest athletic accolade, the Lou Marsh Award for Athlete of the Year.
I believe that the speed skating is a gift I've been given from God, and the ability to be able to perform at a high level. It's all from God.
In 2008, while competing in Berlin, Cindy got devastating news from home.
I got a phone call one night from my brother telling me that my sister Lisa had been in an accident, and he said that it didn't look good. The chances were that she wouldn't survive, and that by the time I got home, she probably would not be alive.
Lisa's car had tumbled off a bridge, and she was submerged underwater for more than 5 minutes.
I remember just giving it to God, and I was able to just release her into His hands. And I said to God, like, your will be done in her life. And I just felt this sudden peace come over me.
Kicked out the window, cut the seatbelt, and got the person out and started CPR.
I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and then after that I came home, and I was recovering for quite a while after that.
It's really a miracle that she's alive and doing well today.
Cindy decided to stay in Winnipeg to help Lisa with the rehabilitation process. It was a good time for Cindy to also address her own physical problems.
My knees had not been doing well that season. I was having a lot of issues. They were pretty painful in skating and in training. So I had bilateral knee surgery on both of my knees. They said that they were a lot worse than expected, and it would probably take about 6 months or so until I could start skating again. So that whole season was a write-off, and that's a big season. The year before the Olympics, people are just kind of feeling things out, and you kind of see how good the competitors are, and usually the people that perform well at the end of that season do well the following season at the Olympics.
Every time Cindy tried to get back on the ice, her knees would flare up. The hope of being ready for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics was fading.
I didn't get back to where I wanted to be, but I was grateful that God gave me the ability to qualify for those games, and to be able to race in front of the home crowd was such an honor.
Cindy Klassen, 5 medals in Turin. Listen to the cheer.
Her family cheering her on. The fatigue is starting to kick in.
The crowd was so loud, and almost tears came to my eyes. It was just emotional. It was pretty amazing.
Despite the overwhelming support, Cindy did not win a medal at the Vancouver Games.
Sometimes with the knee pain, sometimes I think, is this it? I don't know how much longer I can go. And I also think, well, if I'm going to one day get married and have kids, am I going to be able to play with my kids, or are my knees going to be so bad? But I really feel like right now, I feel like this is where God wants me to be. And so I just really look to Him for strength and guidance. And if it's time to change, start something new, then so be it.